We have a massive New York Jets head coaching update as Aaron Glenn has declined an interview with the New England Patriots, and I think this means that Aaron Glenn is going to be signing with the New York Jets as their next head coach in the coming weeks or days, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and if you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. 19% of people are subscribed, as Matt hides as per usual to show the number, because you guys need to subscribe to the channel. However, let's jump into things as always. Aaron Glenn, one of the top options for the New York Jets next head coach, a former New York Jet, 3-time Pro Bowler, is one of the hot commodities of the offseason, and he recently declined an interview with none other than the New England Patriots. Now, I think one of the big reasons here is because Robert Kraft put on those women's sunglasses and it scared him off because he looks absolutely hideous in them. Maybe his 20-some-odd-year-old girlfriend that's our age likes it, but Robert Kraft, take him off. You're not getting an Aaron Glenn interview now. Now, this was revealed to New York Jets fans and NFL fans around the world today as Tom Pelissero, there it is, first reported on it. Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn has declined an interview request from the New England Patriots. Glenn will interview for the other 5 head coaching vacancies over the next few days. And on top of that, Dan Campbell spoke out on Aaron Glenn, saying, Aaron Glenn he's as good of a coach as you're going to find. He's an even better human being. Look, if no one wants him, I'll take him again. I can tell you that right now. The thought of going through another cycle and he's not somebody's head coach is ridiculous. And Aaron Glenn is going to be someone's head coach. And it seems like it'll certainly be the New York Jets or the New Orleans Saints, as he played for both those teams, and declining an interview with the New England Patriots is a sign that he will not be signing with the New England Patriots. Now, I've been pretty vocal. I think Mike Vrabel is going to get the job. I think most people would agree that Mike Vrabel is going to get the job. But Aaron Glenn's chances of being a New York Jet, I think, just rose.
Hey, this is great news. Usually the New York Jets, when there's a coach or someone taking a bunch of interviews, usually the Jets are where they draw the line, where they say, we're not interviewing over there. It feels pretty awesome to have the New York Jets being one of the teams where he wants to go. And the Patriots, of all teams, the New England Patriots, they got a good front office, good ownership at least. Them being the team that they take down, definitely love the fact that he turns down the Patriots because, of course, most hated rivals. We hate the Patriots. Want to see them do nothing other than fail over and over and over again. But I'm not going to talk too much trash about them, seeing how they've been pretty successful recently. However, this is important because this shows that Aaron Glenn has actual interest in the New York Jets head coaching job. He's not just interviewing just for the sake of an interview, because he's declining interview requests. And since he's doing that, he has real solid interest in the New York Jets head coaching job. Do we have interest in him? I would say so. He's a culture builder, which is what we're looking for. He's from a culture of a very, very successful culture. They've had the same type of career franchise turnaround that the New York Jets are looking for. The Detroit Lions have been one of the worst franchises in NFL history, never going to the Super Bowl, of course, never winning the Super Bowl. And the New York Jets are now getting this guy from that franchise and to potentially do the exact same thing. You could sign me up for that. If we're not getting Mike Vrabel, like you said, Mike Vrabel every single day looks more likely to go to the Patriots. The news today with Mike Vrabel is that the interview was very positive. That's not what we want to hear. I'm annoyed with that because I don't want to play against a Patriots team with Drake May coached by Mike Vrabel, because as we get farther and farther away from Belichick destroying the roster on its way out, we are now seeing the Patriots draft actually good players, because Belichick was awful at drafting players in the first round. They're drafting better players in the first round. And I don't want to see them coached by a really good coach, what we think in Mike Vrabel. So if there's still a chance that Mike Vrabel's the New York Jets head coach, that would be, of course, who I would want over Aaron Glenn. But we can't have Vrabel. Aaron Glenn is the guy that we're probably going to be looking for here. And he is going to see what he can do with this Jets roster. The Detroit Lions have a really good roster, and that is part of what led to their turnaround. But the New York Jets are really right there. They got guys at every single level, other than if they cut Aaron Rodgers, they won't have a quarterback, of course. But this is a really good roster that, with the right head coach, could really make noise in the AFC East and in the AFC in the playoffs. Really excited to see what Aaron Glenn could do should he come in as a New York Jets head coach this coming year.
Yeah, no, I think there's a few reasons why Glenn didn't take the job, and looking at one of them is definitely the reports of Mike Vrabel. As mentioned by Jonathan Jones, the Patriots wrapped their interview with Mike Vrabel for head coach. He's considered the favorite to land the job, and then Ben Johnson is scheduled to interview virtually tomorrow, which is another interesting tidbit. Obviously, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are co-workers, as they are the offensive and defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. So there's a world where Aaron Glenn has talked to Ben Johnson, and he knows that Ben Johnson is aware that Vrabel's the favorite, and if it's not Vrabel, it'll likely be Johnson. And Aaron Glenn's decided, hey, if my coworker wants this job, he'll likely get it over me. There's not really a point in interviewing for this when I know I'm most likely going to land a head coaching job. It would be downright shocking if Aaron Glenn does not become a head coach during this coaching cycle. As Dan Campbell said, it would make absolutely no sense. He's absolutely right. Aaron Glenn has done everything correct to deserve a head coaching job. I would love for him to become the New York Jets head coach. And also, something that we talked about the other day, the New York Jets, for their GM position, interviewed Chris Spielman, the brother of the 33rd team's Rick Spielman. And also, who does Chris Spielman work for? He's in the front office of the Detroit Lions. The Jets have liked this idea of pairing two guys who already have synergy, who already have this chemistry together, to where it would create a rapport, especially two guys who are vital in the repairing of a team that was really off the map, like the Detroit Lions. It makes you feel like they can do it with the Jets, especially the 33rd team. They're the ones picking candidates. It's their choice who the candidates are. It's their job to reach out and choose candidates. It's not their choice to hire them. They'll have a say, but that comes down to Woody Johnson at the end of the day. However, and Chris Johnson will probably have a say as well. However, the people making the decisions on who gets interviews is the 33rd team, which means there's going to be some sort of them being partial to Chris Spielman. I think Chris Spielman's an easy sell to Woody Johnson, and if Rick and Mike Tannenbaum want to give Chris Spielman the job, it probably won't be that hard, especially considering Tannenbaum's good relationship with Woody Johnson, to convince him that Chris Spielman's the right guy. If they hire Chris Spielman as the GM before they hire a head coach and Aaron Glenn is available, that first of all gives the Jets a much better chance to land Aaron Glenn over the Saints. And aside from that, it gives them what they want. It gives them two guys with chemistry working as the GM and the head coach as two of the three voices, while the other one obviously is Woody Johnson. There's a lot of sense to doing this. It feels like this is a perfect storm for Aaron Glenn to become the Jets head coach right now. It feels like Aaron Glenn has put himself in a position to basically have the job in his hands if he wants it.
What I'm getting out of the recent news over the last 2 days from this head coaching cycle is I am going to come out of this month hating the Patriots even more than I already do, because now I'm going to hate their head coach too. Mike Vrabel, excuse me, using the New York Jets interviews as leverage in the Patriots interviews, and now Ben Johnson says he doesn't want to come to the Jets, but he's going to interview with the Patriots, even though we know the Patriots just fired their head coach to go pick up Mike Vrabel. That doesn't sit right with me at all. Whoever is that head coach, it's going to be the next time we face the New England Patriots, it's going to be even more personal than it always is in the past. And I'm going to want to beat them even worse, just because whoever the head coach is going to be, I'm not going to be. If it's either one of those guys, which more to lock to be, 1,000% could be one of those two guys, I'm going to hate them and want to see them lose so bad. Even when it's not against us, I would like to see them lose, every single game. They hit Arch Manning because they lose every single game. I don't care. 16, 17. How many games are we up to? 17 games?
Yeah. Let's
watch them lose 17 games.
I'd be cool with it. I'll take it. That'd be fun. And really, the way you look at things, I love Aaron Glenn for the Jets head coaching job. I'd still rather it be an offensive guy, but I just trust that Aaron Glenn would hire the right people around him. I think he would bring the right people from the Lions. I think he would bring in other good people. I trust the 33rd team because the work they did with the Washington Commanders over the offseason. It just feels like the Jets are making the right decisions. And for a guy to not take a Patriots interview when he's probably the second highest option outside of a guy in Vrabel who's not going to the Jets, it just feels like this is absolutely perfect for the New York Jets right now.
Like I said, it finally, something goes our way, because him not taking a job with the page, not taking an interview is a big step in the right direction for this franchise.
Absolutely, and I'm really excited to see who the head coach becomes. And guys, make your prediction right now in the comments. Who is the next Jets head coach? I'm going to say now I do think it's Aaron Glenn. Matt, what's your prediction right now? These 11 guys that we know of right now.
Right now, I think it's going to be Rex Ryan. Because Aaron Glenn, we got the news that he's already like a lock for the Saints. So I think he's going to the Saints. And I think Woody Johnson's going to make his splash and he's going to pick Rex Ryan.
Well, I'll take some sexy Rexy as well. Guys, like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Jets!